This is the casting that I made of a cherry burl that had a lot of voids in it. I'll put a link at the end of the video of how I made it. Alright, so now that it's all out of its mold, let's get this thing on the lathe and get to turning it. I'm going to start by mounting it in my chuck and bring up the tailstock. So when you turn the resin, you want to use some type of exhaust system, or at least a proper mask to help protect your lungs from the dust particles that are going to come off this thing. You really don't want to breathe those in. Alright, so since I'm kind of changing the original profile that I rough turned this in, I had to take some measurements to see and make sure I'm not making these walls too thin. Okay, so that's about as far as I want to go for the outside for now. I have one spot where I guess there was a crinkle in the plastic, so it left a little bit of an indentation. So I'm going to mix up some 5-minute 2-part epoxy with some of that mica powder and use that to fill that tiny bit of a void in. Just throw a couple pieces of painter's tape across it just to contain it and make sure it doesn't move too much. Same thing, but a couple pieces of painter's tape over it to hold it in place so it'll peel right off of it when it's dry. So now we wait. Usually it's a couple hours. I'm gonna just let it sit overnight and I will finish this up tomorrow. So now that the sanding's done, I'm applying a couple coats of 100% pure tung oil and letting it soak in. Once it's soaked in, I'll wipe off the excess and then let it cure for a couple of weeks before I move on to the next step. I like using an oil finish for resin and wood turnings because I don't want a film to be over top of the resin. Now that the resin is cured, it's time to buff. I'm starting off with Tripoli just on the wood, then I'll move on to a blue rouge. I'm only using light pressure while I buff. This was a fun project and turned out great. The blue I picked out really contrasts with the cherry and makes it pop. If you're interested in trying some eye candy mica powders, I have a discount code down in my description below. If you want to see more of my resin and wood creations, check out this video next.